If you're just getting started with the Canon A610 or the Canon A620, let me show you how I like to set up the camera, and I'll give you a couple pointers about taking pictures with this camera that may help you out. First thing at the top, you'll notice this is the mode dial, and you can turn this to any mode you want to use. I prefer using the program mode. This is true for just about every picture I take. So the program mode, very similar to the automatic mode, but it gives me a lot more control over certain things that help me improve image quality. Next thing is the zoom lever. Use this to zoom out or zoom in to your subject. Let's look at the bottom. Here is your tripod mount and your battery door cover. Just firmly press on the battery door cover locking mechanism like this. Push it over and then push the door out in order to open this battery door. And here you'll see a little diagram of how the batteries should be inserted into their compartments. To close it, just firmly press until the battery door is flush with the camera, and then just push it back. Back here you have the memory card door. Just put your fingernail here in this ridge and just push that out like that. The memory card is spring-loaded. Just push down to pop it out in this way. You'll notice that the face or the sticker on the memory card is facing the back of the camera. So if you're inserting a memory card for the first time, insert it in this direction. There's only really one way that it will allow you to do it, so don't worry. There's really no way of getting that wrong. Press it all the way in until it clicks and close the door. In the back, the LCD screen does swivel, and this is a very, very handy feature. It comes out. You can protect it. Usually I don't do that. It can also swivel in this way. When you want the camera to be very low to the ground, you can look down at the LCD screen, or flip it this way. If it's over your head, you can look up at the screen. So that's very, very handy most of the time. However, I just flip it back like that. Okay, let's go ahead and turn the camera on. By default, the menu is set up a certain way, and there are a couple things that I want to change. So let me just show you how to do that. First thing you should understand is that the menu items are split into two families. One is the function item and or the function menu, and this hosts, let me just press the function button right here in the center. This hosts a few items that you probably need more often than all the other menu items in the main menu. Every time you take a picture, you want to make sure your ISO and your white balance are both set up properly. Also, your resolution is down here. So these are things that you most frequently need. In order to navigate the function menu and the main menu, you have these four buttons right here. Up, down, left and right. Up and down will move the red indicating square up and down. And the left and right will change that function's setting. So if I go down to image quality, first thing you'll notice is that it's set to the middle option, which is not the best image quality the camera can produce. And since I do want the best, I'm just going to press the left navigation button to move over to superfine. And yes, you'll notice that the number of pictures I can take on this memory card has dropped significantly, but the image quality is much better, and that's what I would like to use. Go ahead and press the function button to escape the function menu at any time, and let's go into the main menu. The main menu, I pretty much just go in once to kind of set up the camera, and after that I rarely, very rarely enter this menu. But first, let's go ahead and go to this top setting. Autofocus frame, by default, it's set to AIAF, and I want to set it to center. The center option will allow me to focus on what I want as opposed to letting the camera focus on what it thinks I want. So go ahead and choose center. Down a little further, red eye is turned on by default, and I never use red eye. I don't think it helps at all, and I prefer using the computer to illuminate red eye. So go ahead and turn that off. And that's it for the record menu tab. Let's go up and to the right to the setup menu. Go down to the date and time. If you've never set up the date and time, you'll notice that every time you turn the camera on, it automatically prompts you to set the date and time. And this is very, very important. Go ahead and set the date and time because those image organizing applications need this information in order to best organize your pictures by date and time. Down below that, if you go down one more, you'll see format, and this is very important to keep track of because every time you either take the memory card out and use a memory card reader, or if you use a USB cable from the camera itself in order to download pictures, it's good to reinsert the memory card or disconnect the USB cable once you're done with that and format the memory card. This will erase all the pictures on the memory card and everything else. The erase all function that you'll see in the play menu does not erase everything that's on the memory card. It only erases all the images that the camera can see. So sometimes computers will leave files on the memory cards that I don't want. So format is a good option for that. It'll keep your camera or your memory card very healthy. Let's go up and over to the My Camera tab. This is really very, very personal. You can set this up however you want. These are just images and sounds that the camera makes at different times. The startup image, for example, is something that is displayed every time the camera is turned on. So I don't want an image at startup, and I certainly don't need a sound every time the camera starts up, so I like to turn those off. Everything here is really just up to you. It really has nothing to do with image quality. So, okay, let's press the menu button to escape the menu. And go ahead and press the display button to display all the different items, the features that the way the camera is set up before taking a picture. The current mode, what the flash situation is like, my ISO setting, image quality, the number of pictures I have left. All of this information I find to be very, very useful. So I like pressing the display button to access this. You only have to do that once. Every time you turn the camera on, it'll remember where the display was left, and it'll bring these up again. So this can be very, very handy. Finally, when you're taking pictures, and this is true for every digital camera, you always want to press your shutter button halfway. This is probably the most important thing with digital photography. These cameras do take a little bit longer to find a focus point and get set up when you're taking a picture. So you can't expect to just press this and the camera will instantaneously take a picture. What you want to do is press the shutter button halfway. Let me show you how to focus. Put your focusing square on your subject. Usually if it's a picture of a person, I like to focus on their eyes. If he's close enough, or if not, then somewhere generally on their face or on their body. Press the shutter button halfway. You'll see your focusing square will turn green, which indicates that the camera has found a focus point. And then you want to reposition the camera to have the composition image the way you want it, the image composed just as you want it. Notice my button is still pressed halfway, which means my focus is still locked at that same distance. Once I have my picture lined up the way I want to, I have it composed just the way I like, or let's say I'm waiting for something to happen, then I just wait for that to happen, and then I just press the shutter button the rest of the way, and the picture is instantaneously captured. So that's how you should be taking all your pictures. Press the shutter button halfway first, and then the rest of the way.